Okay, so you have an idea, but you're not quite sure how to go about patenting it. I always thought it was like $30,000 to $50,000 up front and out of pocket to get a patent. You can actually get patent protection for a lot lower cost up front while you're still refining your idea and seeking to raise money to start a company. Now, I'm not a patent lawyer. This isn't legal advice. I just wanted to share with you some of my knowledge that I've gained from working on a patent myself and to share a video to my past self that I wish I would have seen 5 years ago. You can get something called a provisional patent, which can cost somewhere between $2,500 to $5,000, depending on the firm and the complexity of your invention. Provisional patent holds your place in line for your idea, and when you go to file the full non-provisional patent, the thing you think of when you think of a patent, it is backdated to the day that you filed your provisional. That means that if someone tried to go patent and create your idea after you filed your provisional, you have the right to protection, not them. The patent system is first to file, not first to invent, so you want to get your patent with as early of a filing date as possible. A provisional patent also gives you the freedom to share your idea publicly. If you publicly disclose your idea before you have a provisional patent, it is considered public domain and no one can claim an exclusive patent on it. There are corporations that do this. They'll have a random unaffiliated public website somewhere and post inventions not good enough for them to want to pay to patent, but something that could be competitive just so a competitor can't patent them. So provisionals are also somewhat flexible. Between filing your provisional and non-provisional, again, the thing you think of as a regular patent, you can make some small changes and tweaks to your idea and claims as you refine your invention. Now, this provisional patent is only good for 1 year before requiring another action. I'll get to actions in a second, but if you do nothing, the provisional disappears like it never existed. The other important thing to know is that a patentability search is not done during a provisional patent, unless you pay to get one done beforehand. You can submit anything you want on a provisional patent, but the patentability is determined down the road when you go to file. I can't just go to try and patent this mouse. If I did that, the provisional patent would go through, but down the road, they would look at this and go, this is not patentable, and I'd be out of luck. So within that year that you filed your provisional, you can file a non-provisional patent or kick the can down the road another 18 months. You can file something called a PCT application. A PCT application is kind of like a worldwide provisional patent or provisional application. With this PCT, a patentability search is done by the USPTO to see which claims you are making can be protected. Now, generally, there's some kickback on these, but you'll have the chance to go back and rephrase them and make them unique to be patented. At the end of this 18 months, then you'll have to decide which countries you want to have patent protection in, and then file those non-provisional patents. The big ones are Europe, US, Japan, Australia, and China, and there are some others, but that's kind of up to you and for you to decide. If you do nothing at the end of 18 months, after you file this PCT application, it all goes away. Like nothing ever happened, like you've never had a provisional, like you never had a PCT, nothing. It's like poof. It cost me about $10,000 to file the PCT application, which isn't that bad considering if you put $5,000 down on a provisional application, you got some money, you got some time to save up to put down the $10,000, and then that $10,000 buys you another 18 months before filing the big ones, the big non-provisionals. It was estimated to me that it's about $10,000 to $15,000 to file the non-provisional application per country that I want to file in. So if I wanted to file in US, Japan, and Europe, that would be about $10,000 to $15,000 per country, or $45,000. But again, I have bought the time, another 18 months, to raise that money to be able to file. And again, your mileage may vary depending on the complexity of your idea. Now, technically, you don't need to file a provisional patent. You could go directly to the non-provisional. It'd be quicker to get the patent, and I think it would cost a little bit less in the end since you wouldn't be doing all of this filing, but you're paying a lot more upfront to do so. So it's up to you. I don't think you gain or lose anything, outside of the obvious, time, money. Again, not a lawyer, so you might want to look into that. So final words of advice. You don't need to have a physical working device or prototype to be able to file a patent, but you do need a very specific solution and exactly how your device will work. Draw pictures, take videos if you have something that kind of works, record a video of you using it and describing, saying how it works, anything that you can put together to describe your invention. Do not post it to YouTube, as that would count as a public disclosure. Even technically, an unlisted video could be argued as kind of public disclosure, as someone could maybe figure out the URL. It's dirty. It might be okay, it might not, but don't take the chance. I've heard it argued either way. Use Dropbox or something, or USB stick if you can. If there's software, write the flowcharts. If there's hardware, again, spell it all out. Circuit boards, everything that you can think of. The provisional can have flexibility, but it otherwise has to be pretty solid. You're going to need patent drawings. Save money by doing them yourself. I have a video on that. I'll link it somewhere in the card. You're going to have to do your own basic patent search. It doesn't have to be super deep, but you can have a list of links to similar devices that you're going to need to disclose to your lawyer. Now, this is actually legally required. You're technically required to disclose any sort of competing devices that might affect a patent search. So don't be sneaky. The lawyer's there to help you. Lay it out as simple as you can. You're paying a lawyer hundreds of dollars an hour to try to be able to understand your device. Spend the extra time to lay it out as clearly as you can beforehand. You actually don't need a company to be able to patent your idea. You can assign the patent to yourself right now, and then later assign it to an LLC or a C Corp down the road. Depending on your invention, you should err on the side of caution when sharing your idea publicly, even if you have a provisional patent. A patent only protects your method of solving the problem. If a company sees your idea, they could easily try to beat you by working around your patent by coming up with a close but different enough solution. And if a company does just violate your patent, it's on you to hire a lawyer and sue them. Even if you win, it could be a very long and expensive fight. So, do use your best judgment of when you think or may not want to share. Talk with your lawyer. Finally, when you do get that draft document from the lawyer, read it. It's probably going to be 20 or 30 pages long, single-spaced. Read it. They took the time to write it. Take the time to read it and make sure it covers exactly what you want to protect. I've gone through, and it's not going to be blatant changes, but very tiny details that will greatly affect the patentability of your idea. So look through the details, because it's in a patent, it's the details that matter. Ultimately, good luck. I hope that was helpful and that it answered some of your questions about how patenting inventions may go. Please leave questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll see you next time. Good luck.